Hi, I'm Tim Legg for Exodus Pest Control. I started the business 14 years ago, and back then I started using a responsive beta. Never had any problems at all with it, and was absolutely shattered when they took it off the shelf. When we stopped using Responser, we went on to use some generic products, some other companies, big company products. Our callbacks went through the roof, which was obviously very, very costly and bad for our name. We actually ended up going back and volunteering to do some of the houses to spray with some of the product failures. And so when I heard that Responser was coming back in the form of Maxim Pro, I was absolutely rapt, and we've been using it ever since it came out and have had absolutely no trouble at all. It's great to have it back again. When we looked at the generic products or some of the other products that were a lot cheaper than this is and Responser was, you sort of get a little bit excited that your literage, your cost per litre is going to go right down, but then the warranty calls start coming in, and that just pales into insignificance the cost of, or the extra cost of buying this sort of stuff to do the job properly the first time and to save having those really expensive callbacks. Yeah, one of the first jobs I used Maxim Pro on, I was looking for some problems just to obviously test out how it was working. And went to the laundry, and there's a whole heap of little spiders on the cornices. I thought, beauty. I sprayed it like they weren't there. I didn't direct the spray directly at them at all. And went back about 15 minutes later. They've all come out to die, which is just great. It just reminded me of how well Responser used to work, and this is obviously the same. The other thing that was concerning me about a lot of the products we had been using, generics or R&D, was the residue it was leaving on highly polished floors. This house had polished cypress pine, and I deliberately did it in a nice sunny spot to let it dry while I was there, and went back, and there's no evidence of it at all. So while it leaves a good residue, residual, it doesn't leave residue on the on the surface, so you can see it. So it's great stuff. When I first started using, the first time I used Maxim Pro, I felt like I was finally doing a good service for a customer. That it was actually the first time in a long time that I was going to be doing a job that was going to work fantastically. So I was just rapt. I was just so excited to be using it again. So yeah, really excited to see the Delta Pro out. Once Responser got taken off, we moved to the new supposedly equivalent. We didn't have any success with that. Then moved on to another big R&D company's Delta Methrin, which wasn't the best. Well, for us, we had about 700 odd callbacks that we attended, which was very weird for us. We used to get 1 or 2 maybe warranty calls a week, went to about 3 or 4 a day, which was obviously very costly and very, very frustrating. We then moved on to some of the cheaper Delta Methrins, which again, the price is attractive, but had no real joy with it compared to the original old Sizzlin. But when we sort of started using the Delta Pro, it just seemed to drop the spiders as quick as the old stuff used to. And being this small squeezy bottle, it makes it even better for using it. And just really happy with its effectiveness. One thing we've noticed when we've been mixing the Delta Pro compared to other products out there, it just how it disperses through the water, which is just amazing. It's just something I haven't sort of seen before. Often you sort of see it, you pour it in the water and it just goes straight to the bottom, and often obviously stays there. When we put this in, it just clouds up immediately. It's just quite strange to see. The product works, or formulation works, is that it's solid in its resting state. As soon as it's moved or agitated, it becomes a liquid, which is a unique kind of science. Comforting to me knowing that all the sediment or active is not at the bottom, that it's actually right through the whole liquid. Knowing that when you're spraying an area, it's getting the whole amount of active that it's supposed to get. Which is really good in terms of its effectiveness. At Exodus, we're just rapt to have these 2 products that are innovative in their science, their formulation. It's great to have Maxim Pro especially. We're just really rapt that that's back on the shelf, and also for the Delta Pro outside. We've been just excited to see what else Sundew bring out. We look forward to it. Badlax Pro, another great product to have back. Propoxer. We're getting into a fair bit of bed bug work, like a lot of pest controllers in Australia, so it's awesome to have the benefit of an aerosol and something that actually does work well on bed bugs. So another great innovation back on the shelf.